Hello guys, welcome to another video. My name is Nev, your friendly neighborhood team games player, and today we're starting a new series. It's called Helping Eugen Buff. Of course, this is a series where I take a division and tell Eugen systems what they could do to buff the division. This will of course be a series that will talk about other divisions too. And we're starting out with Korück 559, which is considered an infantry division in C or C like rating, and it's mostly, of course, used in cities and dense wood, like short range engagements. And of course, we want to keep the division intact as it is, and I don't want to add like 12 cards of Panthers or something. It would not fit, and of course, it doesn't make sense. We're gonna keep it real, and for that, we're kind of don't want to change the weaknesses of the division. We're gonna keep those intact too, but I want to play to the strong points of the division to make it more viable, more easily playable, and of course more fun. Starting out with one of the issues in this deck is of course tank defense. I want to see the Sperrverband move to the Recon tab. Of course you can debate it should belong into the anti-tank tab, but of course we know this is not the points you want to spend on a Sperrverband. I think if this unit would go into the Recon tab, like a Fallschirmjäger Panzerabwehrtrupp, this would be way more viable and of course a very nice touch. Of course I think we all agree this is not a real infantry unit. It feels just weird in this tab. And of course that's more space you got for troops like a Sicherungstrupp or another Pioneer card or whatever, another leader card. Alright, number 2. It's about tanks. So Eugen systems, they had a good idea, make it 1 point tank slots for everything, so you can just take a whole lot of them. But usually people don't really do it. What I often see is I see a Panzer II, a T60 and a Tiger, and maybe sometimes people take the T34, but usually this is not being used at all. And we can change that. My second point will be that they should make it that there is no B availability for the Panzer 35R. This should all be in A. That I don't mean it's 12 units in A. They should just make the B availability the A availability. So 8 of them in A would be more viable. And of course, this is not overpowered. This one is just, I guess, okay for the price, but this is not gonna wreck 1v1 or whatever. Same deal with the Panzer 3G. Actually an amazing tank for the price. Like, this is really nice. Problem is, of course, 2 of them in A for 1 point. I don't like it. People might do it. I don't like it. I would love to see this being 6 or 4 in A. And again, scrap the B phase ability. And yes, of course, and that's the same thing for the T34. So people would should know, of course, the normal availability for T34s in A is, of this version with the 75 armor, is 6 in A, so this wouldn't be at all overpowered. And it would just make this tank tab a little more usable. And I want to see these tanks being used. Those are very flavorful. Alright, a support tab is okay. This is kind of what you expect the division to have. And they got it all, even like a little caviar with the MG44 having vet. I like this. Alright, anti-tank tab. This of course should be the weakness of the division. And so I won't touch this. It's just okay, I guess. Like, yes, at least you have a pack 40. Of course, people will debate how good the Syst 3 is. I'll just say it's okay with this ability, so don't change it, whatever. I don't, however, see a reason why this shouldn't be a little slot cost buff with the anti-air. Those are all very useful in this division. People might say it's not useful to use those as tank defenses, but I actually think they are pretty viable at it. and Eugen systems should support this a little bit more by making it more easily available to take all of them, basically. RT, of course, another weakness of this division. Don't touch it. I think this is okay. Maybe, if it's possible, add another mortar card, because I mostly see the RT being used in mortar, the 122, and of course the Maltier. So yeah, basically maybe another mortar card, if it's possible. I wouldn't really cry about it. So with the air tap, I want one thing to happen. Of course, this is the Heinkel 129. If it actually pulls off an attack, it can destroy a medium tank up to 90 armor, maybe even Sherman if you're lucky with one strafe. But usually it will take two and it will bug out a lot. But this thing, after it's well, it works, I guess, if the bugs are fixed. This should have a better availability. This is so important because this unit basically puts it together. The Kanonenstuka, the division had the Kanonenstuka before. It was so important because it was basically the way to push the division forward against tanks and whatever in A. You were able to make some adjustments in the anti-tank tab. Consider not taking the Tiger in A, put it in C, because you basically had a possibility to kill tanks. This one has to work. There's really no debate about it. Stukas are too easily countered with planes and whatever. So using this as anti-tank might work, but it works once and then it's completely being shut down if the enemy is paying attention. So yeah, I want this to be better. But usually the air tab is really nice. I like the flavor of it. So those are my few picks I want to see change with the Korück. Of course, this won't make it a viable 10v10 division or whatever. I just want the things it does to do it better. And for that, let me just bring up one thing. I think Korück deserves a special Feldgendarmerie card. Just make it some Schupo whatever officer. Give it 6 in A, and it would, and you just stack it up correctly, and it would be so helpful because people want to put in the extra micro to make the Landesschützenost better by having some Feldgendarmerie or this SS whatever guy next to him. They want to put in the micro, so please Eugen, help him out a little bit. Don't make him put 2 cards of them in the deck and ruining the support tab even more. So please consider just that. That would help a lot, and I think people would agree. The division is fun to play if you can really put this stuff together. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you consider some of the things I suggested. 1v1 people can tell me if I made any suggestions I would break the game. I would love to hear it. And of course, I'll see you next time with the next division. I'm not gonna spoiler it, it will be a surprise. See you next time, bye bye.